In 2001, Major League Baseball witnessed something that had never happened before. A 27-year-old rookie from Japan didn't just compete with MLB veterans, he dominated them. Ichiro Suzuki stepped into the batter's box on opening day as an unknown quantity to most American baseball fans. By season's end, he had achieved what no player in MLB history had done before, winning both the Most Valuable Player and Rookie of the Year awards in the same season. But this wasn't just about awards and accolades. This was about a player who revolutionized what was possible in baseball, shattering preconceptions about Japanese position players in MLB. At 5 feet 9 inches and 170 pounds, Ichiro wasn't supposed to succeed in a league dominated by power hitters. Yet through a combination of speed, precision, and a hitting style that defied conventional wisdom, he didn't just survive, he excelled. To understand how this unprecedented rise to stardom occurred, we need to go back to where it all began, in a small town in Japan, where a young boy's strict baseball education would lay the foundation for one of baseball's most remarkable stories. Born on October 22, 1973, in Kasugai, Japan, Ichiro Suzuki's baseball journey began at 3 years old, when his father, Nobuyuki, first put a baseball glove in his hands. This wasn't just a father sharing his love of the game. It was the beginning of a meticulous training regimen that would shape baseball history. Every day after school, young Ichiro would head to his father's batting center, where he would take hundreds of swings until his hands blistered. Nobuyuki's methods were unorthodox and demanding. He forbade his son from joining his elementary school baseball team, believing that bad habits from amateur coaches could corrupt his carefully planned development. By junior high, Ichiro had already developed his distinctive pendulum-like swing, a technique that many coaches tried to change, but his father steadfastly defended. At Nagoya's Ikodai Maiden High School, Ichiro's unique style began to yield results. Despite his small frame, he was hitting with remarkable consistency, spraying the ball to all fields with a precision that left opponents baffled. His high school teammates called him Oil because of his smooth, fluid movements in the field and on the bases. The same frame that would later puzzle MLB scouts was already raising eyebrows in Japan. At just 5 feet 9 inches and 170 pounds, Ichiro didn't fit the traditional baseball player mold, but his speed, his laser-sharp throws from right field, and most importantly, his ability to place the ball exactly where he wanted it, were already hinting at something extraordinary. By his senior year, he had transformed from an undersized curiosity into one of the most intriguing prospects in Japanese high school baseball, setting the stage for his entry into Japan's professional ranks. In 1992, the Oryx Blue Wave selected Ichiro in the 4th round of the NPB draft, a decision that would reshape Japanese baseball. His manager made a pivotal choice early on, breaking with Japanese baseball tradition by allowing Ichiro to use only his first name on his jersey, a move that would later become his global trademark. But Ichiro's first season brought challenges. His unorthodox swing led to frequent clashes with coaches who wanted to remake his approach. It wasn't until manager Shozo Doi gave him the freedom to hit his way that everything changed. What followed was a display of hitting mastery that Japan had never seen before. From 1994 to 2000, Ichiro dominated NPB like no player in history. He won 7 consecutive batting titles, 7 consecutive Gold Gloves, and 3 MVP awards. His 1994 season set a new NPB record with 210 hits and an astounding .385 batting average. The Japanese press dubbed his hitting style pendulum hitting, but soon it simply became known as Ichiro style. He wasn't just collecting hits, he was revolutionizing how Japanese players approached batting. By the end of his NPB career, Ichiro had accumulated 1,278 hits, a .353 career batting average, and had transformed from a 4th-round draft pick into Japan's most celebrated baseball player. MLB scouts who had once dismissed Japanese position players began making regular trips to watch him play. His batting practice sessions became legendary, with observers noting his ability to direct hits to specific spots on the field at will. The question was no longer if Ichiro would make it to MLB, But when, and in late 2000, the Seattle Mariners won the posting bid that would bring him to America, setting the stage for one of baseball's most remarkable transitions. In November 2000, the Seattle Mariners bid $13.1 million just for the right to negotiate with Ichiro, the highest posting fee ever paid for a Japanese player. American media met the news with skepticism. No Japanese position player had ever succeeded in MBL, and many questioned whether Ichiro's hitting style could work against Major League pitching. Sports Illustrated published an article titled "Zero to Ichiro," suggesting he might hit .250 at best. Others pointed to his slight build, claiming he'd be overwhelmed by American power pitchers. The doubts only intensified during his first spring training. Reporters scrutinized his every move, and opposing players watched with curiosity as he took batting practice, but those batting sessions began changing minds. Mariners hitting coach Gerald Perry witnessed Ichiro purposefully placing hits to different fields with surgical precision. During one session, he called his shots left field, center field, right field, and delivered each hit exactly where he said he would. Lou Piniella, the Mariners manager, initially skeptical, began to see what made Ichiro special. "He's not just a slap hitter," Piniella told the media. "This guy can drive the ball when he wants to." The turning point came in a spring training game against the Oakland Athletics. Facing hard-throwing closer Jason Isringhausen, Ichiro turned on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and drove it over the right field wall. The whispers started changing. Veteran players began approaching him after games, asking about his preparation routine. By the end of spring training, the question was no longer whether Ichiro could handle MLB pitching, but rather how MLB pitchers would handle him. The stage was set for opening day 2001, where Ichiro would begin dismantling every preconception about what a Japanese position player could achieve in Major League Baseball. On April 2nd, 2001, Ichiro stepped into the batter's box at Safeco Field wearing number 51, facing Oakland's Tim Hudson. His first MLB hit, a ground ball to shortstop, showcased what would become his signature: blazing speed beating out an infield single. Within weeks, American baseball was witnessing something unprecedented. Ichiro wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. In April alone, he collected 33 hits and batted .336, silencing critics who claimed his batting style wouldn't translate to MLB. By May, opposing teams were scrambling to adjust their defensive alignments. His ability to hit the ball where defenders weren't became legendary. Yankees manager Joe Torre compared trying to defend against Ichiro to trying to catch a butterfly with chopsticks. The hits kept coming. Line drives, infield singles, perfectly placed ground balls through holes in the infield. His at-bats became must-watch events, with fans rising to their feet when he stepped to the plate. The All-Star voting revealed Ichiro's growing impact. He received 3.3 million votes, more than any other player in baseball, becoming the first rookie to lead all players in All-Star voting. His jersey became MLB's best-seller, outpacing even established superstars. In Seattle, the Ichiro effect transformed the stands at Safeco Field, where Japanese flags waved alongside Mariners banners and signs in both English and Japanese celebrated each hit. He wasn't just becoming a star, he was bridging two baseball cultures, and his success was reshaping how America viewed Japanese baseball. By the All-Star break, Ichiro had amassed 134 hits, and what started as curiosity had evolved into respect. Veterans who had doubted him now sought his advice. ESPN began tracking his pursuit of the rookie hits record. The baseball world was witnessing not just a successful transition, but the emergence of a revolutionary player who was changing the game one hit at a time. As summer progressed, Ichiro's hitting reached new levels of excellence. His July was extraordinary, a .429 batting average, 51 hits, and a 15-game hitting streak. Every aspect of his game reflected mastery. His defensive plays in right field left broadcasters speechless, particularly his cannon throws from the warning track that became known as laser beams. One such throw against Oakland, when he threw out Terrence Long at third base from right field, became instantly legendary. Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. called it the greatest throw I've ever seen. The numbers kept mounting. By August, he had already broken the American League rookie record for hits in a season. His Mariners team soared alongside him, charging toward a historic 116-win season. Each game seemed to bring a new milestone. Baseball statisticians noted that he was on pace to break George Sisler's 1920 single-season hit record of 257. Veterans marveled at his consistency. Pedro Martinez, after facing Ichiro, remarked, "He's got the most amazing hand-eye coordination I've ever seen. You throw him a pitch that no one should hit, and he lines it for a single." His batting practice sessions became pre-game attractions. Fans arrived early just to watch him methodically place hits to all fields. Derek Jeter observed, "He hits the ball exactly where he wants to every time. I've never seen anything like it." The precision was mathematical. Ichiro maintained a spreadsheet tracking every pitcher's tendencies, studying it before each game. This methodical approach produced staggering results. A .350 batting average by September, leading the league in hits and stolen bases. The Mariners clubhouse had never seen such focused preparation. His pre-game routine became famous. Exactly 45 practice swings, stretching routines timed to the minute, the same path walked from the clubhouse to the dugout. His teammates watched in awe as this rookie, who barely spoke English, rewrote the possibilities of what a first-year player could achieve. September 2001 brought the culmination of Ichiro's remarkable season. With 242 hits already secured, he charged toward the rookie hits record while leading the American League batting race. The pressure mounted as Seattle pushed toward their historic win total, but Ichiro remained unshakable. His pursuit of the batting title became a daily drama. Opposing pitchers tried every strategy, pitching around him, shifting defenses, studying endless video, but nothing worked. He kept hitting, finishing with a 350 average to claim the AL batting crown. The numbers told a story never before seen in MLB history. 242 hits, 56 stolen bases, a 350 batting average, and a Gold Glove in right field. When the Baseball Writers Association gathered to vote, they faced an unprecedented decision. No player from Japan had ever won Rookie of the Year. No player in MLB history had won both MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season. On November 20th, 2001, they made history. Ichiro claimed both awards, securing 27 of 28 first-place MVP votes. Beyond the statistics lay a deeper impact. Japanese media documented his every move, broadcasting each at-bat live, despite the time difference. In Seattle, the Japanese community embraced him as their own, while American fans adopted Japanese customs, bowing after his hits. Corporate America took notice. His endorsement deals topped $25 million, exceeding his baseball salary. When MLB released its marketing report, Ichiro's jersey sales had set new records in both America and Japan. His success opened doors that had been firmly closed. Teams that had hesitated to scout Japanese position players now scrambled to establish Pacific scouting operations. The barriers between Japanese and American baseball began crumbling. As Yankees general manager Brian Cashman noted, Ichiro didn't just succeed, he changed how we evaluate talent globally. The ripple effects of Ichiro's 2001 season transformed baseball's international landscape. Within 3 years, Japanese position players began arriving in MLB with increasing frequency. Hideki Matsui signed with the Yankees, Tadahito Iguchi joined the White Sox, and Kazuo Matsui landed with the Mets. Each cited Ichiro's success as their inspiration. The posting system, once a rarely used mechanism, became a vital pipeline for Japanese talent. MLB teams that had never scouted in Japan now maintained full-time Pacific Rim operations. His influence extended beyond just opening doors. Ichiro's hitting approach challenged American baseball's power-obsessed culture. Teams began valuing contact hitting and speed differently. The Ichiro shift, with infielders positioned to defend against his precise hitting, became standard baseball terminology. His pre-game preparation routines were studied and copied throughout the league. Even his equipment gained mythical status. His custom bats, stored in a humidor-like case, became topics of baseball legend. The statistical achievement stood as testament to his brilliance. His 242 hits as a rookie set a new standard. He became the first player in MLB history to record 200 hits in each of his first 2 seasons. The combination of batting title, stolen base crown, gold glove, and MVP in his rookie year remained unprecedented. But perhaps most significantly, his 2001 season proved that baseball excellence transcended cultural boundaries. As Japanese baseball historian Robert Whiting noted, Ichiro didn't just adapt to MLB, he forced MLB to adapt to him. The business of baseball changed too. Television ratings for MLB games in Japan soared. Seattle became a prime destination for Japanese tourism. Corporate partnerships between American and Japanese baseball interests multiplied. His success created a template for international marketing that MLB continues to follow. In the history of baseball, few rookie seasons have left such an indelible mark as Ichiro's 2001 campaign. His 242 hits, MVP award, and Rookie of the Year honor tell only part of the story. A 27-year-old rookie from Japan arrived in Seattle facing a mountain of skepticism and responded by playing baseball at a level few had ever witnessed. He didn't just succeed, he revolutionized what was possible in Major League Baseball. That 2001 season stands as a monument to baseball's global evolution. Before Ichiro, no Japanese position player had crossed the Pacific to play in MBL. After him, the floodgates opened. His success wasn't just about personal achievement, it was about proving that baseball excellence knows no borders. The image of Ichiro lining another hit through precisely the spot he intended, or throwing out another stunned base runner, became more than highlights. They became proof that the game's highest levels were open to anyone with sufficient skill, regardless of origin. Most rookies hope to survive their first season. Ichiro thrived, excelled, and transformed the sport. 20 years later, his 2001 season remains a testament to what happens when extraordinary talent meets relentless preparation. In challenging every preconception about Japanese position players, size limitations and hitting approaches, Ichiro didn't just earn his place in baseball history, he rewrote it. His rookie season wasn't just the beginning of a Hall of Fame career, it was the moment baseball truly became a global game.